special effect basically is not just about the wound and all those things. We have the likes of the transformations, trying to change someone into an old man, trying to create a character, maybe a witch or an alien. We have what we call the sweat effect. Maybe someone is being engaged in an activity and is sweating. All those things are special effects.
And I'm happy you could join us for another beautiful episode of People and Places here on your favorite channel, GhanaWeb TV. Before I go any further, let's take a look at these. Well, these are works produced by my guest today. He is an award-winning special effects artist and a prop director. We'll be meeting him right after this break. My name is Wanda Mihagan. Welcome aboard. Welcome back from the break. Thank you for joining us. This is still People and Places. Our guest today is, like I said earlier, an amazing person. His work speaks for itself. He has quite a number of names I've seen, so I'm just going to ask him which of them he's more comfortable with. Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time to speak to us.
Welcome.
You're a big man.
That's what people say, but yeah.
And you have a lot of names: Nathaniel Cruz, Nathaniel Amewuga, and then there's Cruz K.
Yes.
Which of them do you usually prefer them?
So Cruz K is actually the brand name.
The most popular. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That's my brand name. But then on Facebook, that's when it's Nathaniel Cruz.
Okay.
Yes, but then Cruz K, my real name is Nathaniel Amewuga. Yes.
Okay. F1. Do you speak good away?
Oh yeah, I speak good
away. Solid away.
Yes, I'm 100%. Just that most people don't know. Yes.
Okay, so what you do is called special effects makeup.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
I'll say this is my 6th year. Yeah,
Okay,
this is my 6th year.
Wow. And why this kind of art?
You know, I don't know how to say, but it just came. I realized I had the art talent around 2015, 2016. Yes, that was when I realized it. So I decided to actually put that art talent into special effects. 2015,
2016, what were you by then? Were you in school?
Yes, so 2016, that was when I actually went into my tertiary. I came to GH Middle School. I was actually a student from here. And currently
so you're teaching in your own alma mater.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't mention that he's actually a tutor here. He's a lecturer here. So he came back to, help students get to the point where he is now, and he's doing amazing at that as well.
Yeah. So basically, that was how it started. Yeah.
I mean, I want to know why this kind of art, because there's a lot of art out there. There's pencil sketching, there's painting, there's sculpture, there's so many other things. What in particular made you choose this?
Okay, so I just feel you need to actually find yourself in your comfort zone. Initially, special effects wasn't really a plan for me. I wanted to be an actor. Anything entertainment, I'm there. So I realized, okay, if I have this art talent, what area in the film space can it actually be useful for? Yes, so that was when I actually started drawing my hypothesis and realized special effects in Ghana was really, let me say, down. People didn't really pay attention to it. So I was like, okay, and I also believe in making change. So why don't I actually take the mantle and actually make that change? So I decided to actually then do special effects.
So it was inspired by your desire to act, or being in the acting and film industry.
Yes.
Okay, and how has the journey been so far? Before you get to that though, what was growing up for you like before you got to the point where you wanted to act? What did you want to be? Have you always wanted to act?
I wouldn't say I had wanted to be an actor in future. For me, I'd wanted to be like a pilot, a land surveyor, because I'm good in this calculations. I'm good in the technical aspect. I'm good in the geography. I'm really good in all those aspects. So I wanted to be a pilot or like a land surveyor. Yeah. So it was after my SHS and let me say, I actually failed my exams though. Yeah.
Okay, what did you study in SHS?
I actually did general arts.
Okay.
But then when I was in SHS, I was having more interest in the drama club kind of thing. And usually I used to do the stage thing, but I didn't see myself to be an actor one day. But it was through my SHS level and after school, I realized, okay, I think this acting thing is really something I should pay attention to. So that was when it started.
So what was your favorite character back then?
Yeah, that's Tom Cruise. So that was where the Cruise name came from.
Okay.
Tom Cruise was actually my favorite of all favorites. So it was through that I actually decided to pick the name Cruise. But funny enough, a lot of people were named Cruise and all that. So I decided to do mine KRUZ.
Okay.
And actually did the research and I realized it was a name used in America before but not used anymore. So okay, why don't I pick this name? It's nice. So since there have been a lot of cruises, I will be the king of all the cruises. So I did the Cruise K. Okay. So it is actually King Cruise, but I just want to make it a little artistic. So Cruise K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And when you decided to go into acting, what was the reaction from people around you, your family, your partner? Do you have a girlfriend?
No, assistant. I'm single.
Okay. But people around you generally, what was the reaction from them like? Did they support what you wanted to do?
It has been tough, really tough, because nobody actually thought of that. So it was difficult for people to actually buy into the idea, especially my family. When it even comes to the support aspect, no one was really willing to actually give her that support, because among let me say 78 grandchildren, I was actually the very first to
78 grandchildren?
Yeah, we have lots. Yeah, those.
Hey, sir, out of how many children? I'm curious.
Okay, that's like 16 children from my camp.
What, from the same?
No, two.
Okay. So that's up.
Yeah, so I decided to. I was actually the first to actually venture into the entertainment industry, and they were not all willing to, because I'm very brilliant, and I actually, the only thing that happened was me failing my SHS exam. But then in JHS, I actually topped almost the Nungwa district. That was 2011. I had the highest grade there. So
what happened in SHS?
You know, it happens. That's destiny. That's nature. You cannot actually cheat nature. You cannot decide for nature. So it was true that if I hadn't failed, I wouldn't find myself in this position.
Okay.
Right? So I'm basically using that to actually the intelligence or whatever to still push through the art space. So now I'm actually a facilitator, so it doesn't mean I failed my life.
No,
I only failed an exams, not my life.
It probably was just a means to another.
Exactly. So it was difficult for my family to really accept that decision. It was not easy, but I had people who were actually discouraging me from church. One lady was like, the acting industry is dead, and you not get paid, you don't have to even try it. And I was like, no worries, no problem, I'm going to push through, I'll try it. Let me go and make it first.
Okay.
Let me give it a try. If it doesn't work, I'll come back.
And you have proved the world.
Proved everyone
that you could. So, take us through the process. You had the idea in 2016. What was the journey like? Did you just wake up one day and decided to get your products? Who was your first model? Take us through the whole journey.
Everything came when I was in school in JH Media. And I went to acting class one day, and our directing lecturer, Major Vine, he was actually the one who taught us a little of Halloween makeup. He was just doing a sketch of Halloween makeup because he's a director. He studied in German film school, so he has the knowledge of makeup and all that. So he just did a little of that, and I was like, this is so nice. I was loving the whole thing. So I came to the hostel that night and actually borrowed a friend's laptop, and I was using the school Wi-Fi, and I went online watching more videos on YouTube and all that, and I realized, okay, this looks pretty interesting. So I decided to take, and funny enough, there were no materials by then in Ghana, and as it stands, there's still no materials. So watching the videos and trying to create the thing was so difficult because you don't have the materials available. So how then do you create? So I decided to start doing more research and finding ways to improvise and still do good special effects. Okay. So yes, that was actually my agenda from the very beginning, trying to improvise, talking to people who were there before me. I wasn't the one who brought special effects. I only drove people's interest into special effects. But then there were pioneers who were already doing. Mr. Johnson, who did Chewa, the makeup we used to watch when we were kids. He was the one who did that, the Chewa movie. So I spoke to them, and Mr. Kojo Hilton, the art ambassador for West Africa, he's actually in Ghana. And so I actually do my hypothesis, trying to find information, get more information. So they were doing it before, so I was looking at ways to improvise. So that was when everything started. Before I even started getting my products from Nigeria, which is actually our neighboring country. So that's where there's a shop.
That's where you get your
That's where I get my products.
Okay.
Yes, but then when I started, I was still using the normal food color, the glue, the tissue, the cotton. It's all about your creativity.
So it's been progress.
It's been progress, yes.
And the products you get from Nigeria, are they very expensive?
Yes, special effect products generally are expensive.
Okay.
Yes, and also getting from Nigeria, because they also get from UK. The owner is in UK, so she gets the things from Nigeria, and getting from there, it's now more expensive than getting it straight from that side. Okay.
Now I've seen a lot of your works, and I'm thinking you must really love horror movies, or you watch a lot of, gory graphic videos to be able to do the kind of things you do. Is that where you get your ideas from?
But funny enough, growing up, I never loved such movies.
Okay.
Even the Chewa thing, I'm saying that because that particular movie, Chewa, Jan Tutu, and all those movies, when my mom is watching them, I actually put my hand in my ears, or probably use a pillow to cover my head, because if I watch that, I have bad nightmare. Like, I can't even eat if the thing is bloody. If they're doing a funeral in our hometown, they said if I'm being notified that a dead body was transported through this lane, I wouldn't use that road for. I won't use that lane for a week.
Okay.
So like I grew up scared of such things. So now, until my mom saw me do this thing the first day, she was saying if she never saw me do it, she would never believe it. Okay. Because she knows I'm scared of blood. I don't see stuff like that.
So how did the vim come?
I don't know. It just came. It just came because I put myself to task. I wanted to make a change. So I have to fight the phobia. So yes. And even till now, if I see real incidents, I sometimes can't stand. Okay. So if I watch it, I don't watch it from that perspective anymore. I rather watch it from the creating perspective, so I can actually do more creating like they do. Okay. Yeah. So now I think I love horror films. So if you come to my house, my movies are all horror
big
films.
Transformation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Do you also do normal makeup? I mean, normal makeup, which is not special effects.
Yeah. So basically, yes. Makeup is makeup. If you want to do special effects, obviously you need basics of the normal beauty makeup. I keep trying to make this thing clear to people that special effects, it's actually, let's say, the motherboard of makeup. All right, it's actually the motherboard of makeup. So even the beauty makeup still is called special effects. Because under special effect, we have what we call special effect makeup cosmetic.
Okay.
That's when you use the normal foundations and everything. So the beauty makeup people do, we still call it special effect. The reason why we add special to ours, maybe we do a little of 3D attachments and enhancements and all that. So we call it special. It is very special. Yeah.
I have some more interesting questions for you, but we want to take a break at this point and join Enam while she gives us some facts about Ghana. We'll return and continue the conversation. Stay with us.
And now, let's learn something interesting about Ghana. Ghana's first children's park was started in 1979 and known as Accra Children's Park or Rich Park. It was later renamed after Guinean playwright and children's author Efua Sutherland. That's all for this week on Facts About Ghana. Until next time, let's get back and learn more with Wanda and her guests.
Welcome back from that quick break. Thank you, Enam, for giving us some tidbits about Ghana. And so, in this part of the interview, we are going to be more interactive. It's going to be more practical. We are going to see what Nathaniel does on a normal day. He's going to demonstrate something interesting to us. And that is why you see his trolley here with all his tools. Nat, can I call you that, by the way, or you just prefer
Nuts, that's fine.
Okay. So, what's your favorite tool among all of these?
I would go for my tiny brush.
Why?
This brush is actually the magic tool because it does almost all the detailed works.
Okay.
You know, the reason people see my work online and they're like scared and all that is because I pay attention to details, and that is why I teach my people.
Okay.
Detail is everything. So once your details are clear, it looks so real. It looks like the real incident. So this is the little magic.
That's the that's a magic tool for
exactly,
you.
Man.
Okay. And what are you going to be doing for our audience?
Okay, so you know, we don't have enough time, so we can do a laceration.
Okay.
Laceration basically is like a deep cut, but then the doctors and the science term for that is called laceration. Yes, when the tissues are torn and all that. So yeah.
Okay, so let's start and then we'll just continue. He's going to be doing this on my hand, by the way.
Okay, so I think we'll have to begin. So the first thing usually you have to do in special effects is you always have to make sure your working area is clean, because these things are more of chemicals and it might react and give you some reaction. So always make sure your working area is really clean. So you can use like a wipe or a sanitizer or something to just take it off. So I think I have, sorry, my arm have a little injury. So
yeah,
I'm just gonna clean my area nicely. Alright, so you can rest your arm.
Okay.
Then
okay, so while we do this, I'd like to ask, aside lacerations and wounds and bloody stuff, what else do you do with special effects?
okay, so you know, special effect basically is not just about the wound and all those things. We have the likes of the transformations, trying to change someone into an old man, trying to create a character, maybe a witch or an alien. We have what we call the sweat effect. Maybe someone is being engaged in an activity and is sweating. All those things are special effects.
So you're able to make someone look like they're crying?
Yes.
I saw a picture on, I think, your Twitter handle. It looked like the person had a vampire look. So there was the teeth and then there was the scary eyes. How do you do that?
So that you actually wear a contact lens.
Okay.
And the teeth too, you can buy it or you can create it yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I told you I actually grew up in the industry as doing more of improvisation. So I basically create all those things myself.
What were some of the things you used to use before you actually started getting your products?
Yeah, so the likes of flour and Vaseline to actually create your wax. So that's how we create our wax here. Yes, and then food color and probably honey could actually give you a black. Yes, effect. So
then aside the transformation, you can make a lady look like a man.
Exactly.
And a man look like a lady.
Yes.
Magic.
So the first thing I have to do is put my adhesive, my glue. So you can actually use the how do we call the top bond glue, the white glue for the carpenters. Yes. So it actually helps you do very amazing, especially.
Do any of these products create allergies?
Yeah.
Or have you had an encounter like that with any of your models?
Not really. The only thing sometimes it feels uncomfortable because special effect naturally is supposed to be like that. Even with already made products, they are uncomfortable. Sometimes the smell and some of them create some itchiness after you are done, but it doesn't really give you reactions, but it's the nature of the product. Yeah, so usually when we are working on you professionally, you have to educate your clients because especially in Africa, people are new to things like this, so they may think, oh, I'm getting reaction, please take it off, I'm scared of my skin, but usually they are very safe for the skin. The only problem is maybe if you are asthmatic, the smell may trigger your asthma, so we have to stop or probably find a way to do it without you getting your asthma thing.
Okay, so what is this here?
So this is actually Vaseline. So Vaseline, actually any petroleum gel can actually help you do your blending. So we have to now blend into the skin to make it feel more natural. So that it doesn't look like something was attached to the skin.
What's the most difficult makeup you've had to do so far in your 6 years of profession?
Okay, I think when I was actually trying out my first bowed cap, trying to improvise how to create bowedness. Yes, I was trying to improvise, but it was not working out, and I had to use let me say the hospital latex gloves. Yes, to improvise. But then
how did you do that?
You actually tie the fingers and get like a knot. So you wear the open space, so you have to wear it on the head, but usually it's very tight, so it gives you that mark around the head, and it doesn't really work. So that was my first time. So I realized there was no other means to actually improvise to get it perfect, unless you have to buy the bowed cap itself. There's a bowed cap sold already made. So yeah.
And what kind of people do you work with?
For me, I work with anyone. Yes, so far as you need my service, you are my client. So
do you have international clients?
Yes, I do. I have international clients.
From where? Which countries?
From Nigeria, South Africa, America. I did a recent job, that's War from the Archives, with Hassan. He was part of the Black Panther crew cast, the warriors who actually did the Black Panther. He was part of them. So we did a project, a short film, War from the Archives.
And that was also as a result of recommendation?
Yes. No, he actually searched online. I worked with one of my directors, and he came. We wanted to do a film, and he actually volunteered to be a part of it. And we met him through that. So yes.
And how is doing this kind of work in the Ghanaian industry? How would you describe it? Is it difficult?
Very difficult. Very, very difficult, because people still haven't gotten the whole idea. So it makes the income level difficult, because right now if I'm trying to do this, and also the perception people create about art itself, not special effects alone, is so bad, because they don't respect artists, and I think that has been a major problem from the beginning in Ghana. So someone calls you for a job and it'll be like, how much are you charging? They'll be like, when you charge, it'll be like, oh, this is just, but it's not like that. If you want to employ someone, you don't just employ someone because of what the person comes to do for you. It took me years, it took me more money to actually invest into myself. So if you go on my page, most of the works there were my personal work. I paid people to do that and post it to build my portfolio. So if you call me for a job, that alone should tell you that I am capable to do what you want me to do. That's why you came for me. So you don't have to just pay me what you are paying part
you get that
of my
a lot,
investment. Oh yes, that has been,
especially from Ghanaians.
Ghanaians. So that has been my fight with most people in the industry.
So it means that the reception or the reaction is better with international clients.
Yes, because they understand the job. They brought it, so they know what goes into it. With this, if sometimes you're going to work, our things are expensive. So getting a product, I might not say because I'm coming to create a wound for you, is just this small wound. If I want to create a wound, I'd have to use a wax, I'd have to use a toning paint, I'd have to use spirit gum. So just to do this wax can even cost us like 1,000 cedis for products. But here, if you even say that amount for products, they'll say, how much am I even paying you?
It's not seen like that.
Yes. So it's really a major problem I think we should address.
But is there improvements? Like, was it like that since you started, or people are getting to appreciate it?
Obviously, people are getting to appreciate it. When I started, it was not like that, but I think it is getting better, and I know it will get better. I'm actually done with my toning. So, another thing in special effects is you get your blending right and your toning right. So once you get that right, everything works perfect.
So what did you use to get these colors?
So basically, we have the toning paints. It comes in different shades. We have the dark brown, we have the normal brown, and then we have the light brown. So depending on the shade of the person, you actually get. So you have to mix to get the right tone.
Right. So what's next?
So now I would have to do my cutting, but before that, I would want to kill the shine by using a normal baby powder. We call it translucent powder. So I'm just going to use a little of that to kill the shine.
While we try to wrap up laceration that is being created by our genius special effects artist, let's talk about the number of awards he's won. This one I would have to read out because they're awesome. So we have the best special effects makeup artist from the Ghana Beauty Awards 2021. We have the Discovery of the Year Fashion and Lifestyle Awards 2019. We have the prestigious West Africa Photo Arena Awards 2019, and he's won the Makeup Artist of the Year at the Ghana Arts and Culture Awards. Which other awards have I not mentioned?
Okay, we have the Youth Excellence Award, where
the YE Award.
Yes, the Youth in Filmmaking. Yes, I remember I was in this category with Komirana and then Andy Tete. Yes, and I actually won.
Okay, so now how does getting all these awards make you feel? Because when you started, you didn't have the support you needed, but now you're doing it and you're getting better at it, and the world is getting to recognize what you do. How does that feel?
It feels good, it feels amazing doing something and being appreciated. You know, that has always been something most blacks don't know how to do. Sometimes a white man will even step on the street and just compliment someone who is wearing a dress, like, you look amazing. You've brightened the person's day. So, you know, appreciating someone's work gives the person the courage to do more. So at least I feel better when I'm being appreciated. Okay, so I think we are getting there. Yeah, so I think let me make it more gory. Put some blood here, and then I can spread it nicely. So go back.
This looks like a machete wound.
Yeah.
Or like I got really cut really bad. And I hate blood, trust me. But I mean, I'm not feeling all the things I would have felt if it was real blood, because this is art. But it actually looks like the real thing. It does, and it's fantastic work. In about 4 or 5 years, where should we see Chris K?
Oh, in 4 or 5 years, we should see Chris K as the game changer.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I really have plans of, and that has been my whole journey, make a change. So in 4 or 5 years, you should see that change. Yes.
Amazing. Okay, we are wrapping up. But before we do, I mean, our guest looks very calm and, you know, cool and all that. But what you don't know is that he may be a wild person. Am I wrong or right?
What?
You're a wild person.
Oh yeah.
You have a wild fashion sense.
Oh yes.
It's covered under his scalp, but you have dyed hair, right?
Yes.
Blue.
I have the pink and the blue thing. Yes. That actually means hot and cold. It's actually growing, so I covered it.
And you have these embellishments on your teeth.
Those basically I feel are my artistic colors.
Okay.
Yes. You know, it actually means I'm cold and I'm hot. Yes.
So that's the blue and pink.
Yes.
Because that's also on your teeth.
Yes.
So it's a color you go with.
Exactly.
But what inspired that?
It comes. You know, art actually comes with a lot of things. So.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you, and I'm really glad we could do this together.
Welcome.
And thank you for sharing your story with the rest of the world. And thank you out there for joining us. It's been another beautiful episode of People and Places here on GhanaWeb TV. Expect somebody who has another great story in our next edition of the show. Before you go, any words to people who want to learn or want to aspire to be like you?
And all I can say is I'm not the big man yet, and I'm not that what to do yet. But all I can say and tell people is, if you want to do something, the best way is to do a lot of research, and always make sure that you are passionate about what you're doing. Let it be the passion. The passion will definitely bring the money. So be happy at what you're doing, and trust me, we will all make it together.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nathaniel Amewuga. He is a special effects artist, award-winning special effects artist. So that's how we wrap up. Thank you again. See you in the next edition. My name is Wanda Mihagan. Stay safe.
Woo! Yes, you know. Global citizens, fellow Africans, ladies and gentlemen, extend our hearty aquaba. Africans, ladies and gentlemen, I extend a hearty aquaba, a word of welcome from a very hospitable people. All of you have come from afar and wide to our vibrant city of Accra, Ghana's capital, to join us on this great occasion. I thank the global citizen team for holding this fantastic and impactful festival in partnership with the government of Ghana here at the Black Star Square, a place symbolizing national unity, freedom from oppression, and justice for all. A big aiko also goes to all artists, partners and sponsors who saw value in this event and lend their support. Hope you forgive me if I sing aloud Hugh Evans, Michael Sheldon, Simon Boss, and Chipo Mahatma Malwani will be so dedicated to this cause of this festival, which is being held simultaneously in Central Park, New York, under the leadership of the co-chairs of the eminent group of SDG advocates, Belgian Prime Minister Maria Motley, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, for special mention and praise. With less than 8 years to bring about the transformation we so earnestly desire, our world sadly is not on track to achieve the 17 development goals. Extreme poverty is on the rise, inequality is growing, and our planet is heading towards a dangerous tipping point as a result of climate change. Developments which have been exacerbated by the effects of COVID-19 and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We have a limited window of opportunity to act decisively to lift millions of people out of poverty, promote inclusiveness and equality, and safeguard the health of our planet. Each one of us has a sacred and moral obligation to begin bequeathing the next generation a healthy planet, free from poverty, conflict, discrimination, hunger, and disease. I call on the youth of the world, especially, and in particular the youth of Africa, to play an active role in achieving the SDGs. The world needs your creativity, your knowledge, your reach, and your energy to help find innovative solutions to the challenges facing our world. Step up on advocacy of the SDGs, and where necessary, stimulate change by raising awareness of the socio-economic and environmental problems that plague communities and our planets. Global citizens, fellow Africans, I'm delighted to announce, together with my brother and respected colleague from South Africa, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, my co-champion in African prosperity, the launch of the African Prosperity Fund, the $1 billion African Fund for Africans, by Africa. It will fund strategic and transformational projects on the continent in the areas of infrastructure development, financial access and participation of women and youth, education, healthcare, technology and sustainability, so that we leave no one behind in Africa. It will be done within the context of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, as we immerse ourselves in the recovery and reconstruction of our economies and nations across this great continent of ours. I extend our appreciation to Aspen Pharmacare, the South African multinational pharmaceutical company, the first to commit to this fund. And I invite other corporates and individuals alike to be part of this historical journey towards the creation of African prosperity for the Africa we want. Enjoy your evening. And who is enjoying themselves more? Who's enjoying themselves more? Us here or them in Central Park, New York? Who is enjoying themselves more? Here in Black Star Square. God bless and may God bless you all. Thank you.
On Monday morning, September 26th at around 9 a.m., this car that you can see behind me caught fire whilst it was on its way from the Achimota stretch heading towards Accra. But when it got to Jowulu, that was where the car stopped after it caught fire, and there was a lady driving the car as well as a passenger in the car. Well, there was a police who was here who witnessed the event, though the police has refused to speak to GhanaWeb. From what we gathered here, the police was able to handle the issue and got some fire extinguishers from other cars to quench the fire before the fire service also came in to quench the fire and douse the fire. But from what some eyewitnesses have told us here, well, the traders and residents who were living here quickly brought water to quench the fire a little before the National Fire Service also came here to do their best. The lady who was driving the car, though, she seems a little bit traumatized and has refused to speak to GhanaWeb. Since we came, she's been on phone throughout, and well, some family members have been able to come here to console her and give her some word of encouragement. The number plate, though, for the car is NR3711, and from one eyewitness that we spoke to, this was what he had to say.
When we say I can't keep on, and I didn't see it. I promise you. So I knew the way. Then I'm with no man of Guana. I just told my police for the block one. Actually, no more fire service for on the Dumja. That kind of Jatumba. I moved the Panama and move fire service on the Dumja. Oh, fire service on the Dumja.
So whilst the police and eyewitnesses here were trying to quench the fire, there was a little bit traffic over here as the cars that were commuting on this stretch were also looking on at the fire that was coming out from the car. But as at now, the traffic has been able to go down a little bit and cars are able to travel along the Jowulu route without any form of stress or issues. Reporting for GhanaWeb, my name is Joseph Adamafiu.
I would like to think that having been an economist for so many years of your life, as an economist, the economist eye, what are some of the outstanding things you've seen, maybe just driving around in Nairobi?
What is very impressive when you get into Nairobi is just see the infrastructure. I think that it's very impressive infrastructure that you have. You see the businesses that are also all dotted all over the city, and of course you have significant industrial capacity in Kenya, and one of the larger economies in the region. So I think it's quite impressive.
You came to represent the Republic of Ghana in the inauguration of the 5th President of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. How was that event for you?
Yes, thank you very much. I think it was a successful event from my perspective and the perspective of Ghana. I think that the successful event that we witnessed today is not just a Kenyan success story, but it's an African success story, because whenever we have peaceful transitions of power from one to another peacefully, it is a success. We always remember the old days of difficult transitions, and so since we've embarked on this democratic journey, every step, every milestone is very, very important, and Kenya is one of the bulwarks of democracy on the continent. And so even though you had very interesting elections and very contentious elections and all of that, at the end of the day, the results were accepted. There was a successful transition and a successful inauguration of President William Ruto today. So it was an African success story, and so I am very happy about that.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
When we're looking at Kenya and Ghana, mostly we know a lot about Ghanaian movies, Ghanaian music,
right.
But from a diplomatic point of view, what is the relationship right now between Kenya and Ghana?
Well, we have very good relations, and these relations date back from the independence days. We're two countries that obtained independence relatively early. Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, and Jomo Kenyatta, your first president, were good friends, and they engaged in the independence struggle against the colonialists and came out successful and got our country's independence with their movements and so on. But I think that subsequently the relations between Kenya and Ghana have been growing. There's a sizable Kenyan community
yes.
in Ghana, and because of course of Kenya Airways, which has a direct flight from Accra to Nairobi, which is really the flight I came on and will be returning on tomorrow. There's a lot more commercial links now between Kenya and Ghana.
Okay.
Yes.
And you mentioned Kwame Nkrumah. I do remember I was not born yet, but I remember there's this vision he had of having the United States of Africa.
Yes.
And we have policies geared to kind of make Africa a free trade region.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a vision we can still kind of imagine for Africa? And what are some of those challenges limiting us to get there?
I think, in a sense, people like Nkrumah were a bit ahead of their time in terms of the vision that they had. And I think that in those days, the leaders of Africa were generally of that view that we needed to cooperate, we needed to be united, and all of that. And I think this is today manifesting itself in the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the idea that we've created a free trade area, the largest free trade area in the world. And this is because it is important that African countries trade amongst ourselves, because our trade has largely been with our colonial masters in terms of the pattern of trade. And, you know, the more we trade amongst ourselves, we believe that the more jobs can be created and all of that. And I think that it is an idea whose time has come. Ghana is, of course, hosting the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement area. And so we are very, very passionate about it. And I think that there is a lot of opportunity and potential for us to realize it. You talked about bottlenecks that could be there in that. And I think that in the area of trade, the linkages in terms of logistics and transportation will be key bottlenecks. One of the areas where we had thought was a major bottlenecks was in terms of payments and settlement. But recently, a few months ago, I launched the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, PAPS, which was backstopped by Afrexim Bank, working in collaboration with the central banks, and that allows someone from Kenya to buy something in Ghana in Kenyan shillings, and you don't have to worry about, you know, buying a third currency like the US dollar to then trade. You can trade in your local currency. That's a major innovation, really major, and I think that will help us bridge the gaps that we have in the payment and settlement area. So, you know, it's important that we open up the skies for air flights across the continent. There should be an open skies policy and all of that. And we need to build up the infrastructure links, you know, across rail and road across the countries. But I believe that we have the opportunity to make it happen. The dreams of the Nkrumahs and the Kenyatas and so on in the early 60s, late 50s, I think are ones that we have the ability in our generation to realize that potential.
And as we're talking about trade, we know that most of the trading in our continent currently has been affected by inflation currently in our country, something that has also been really affected by COVID-19, which hit the entire globe from 2020. How is Ghana dealing with these challenges?
Yes, I think that you are quite right. The cost of living across the world has just increased phenomenally. And this, I mean, is coming on the back of the COVID-19 pandemic, which really disrupted global supply chains and increased shipping costs almost 10 to 12-fold. And just when we thought we were recovering, then you had Russia and Ukraine come on top of that, and then you had this major increase in energy costs as a result, and food prices. And, you know, so it has affected virtually every country. And Ghana has been no exception, and I'm sure Kenya has not been an exception either, because food prices and energy prices have gone up, and they have inflationary consequences and exchange rate consequences, and they've really squeezed budgets in that respect. Of course, in Ghana, we're trying to deal with it in this context of very squeezed and tight budgets. On the monetary policy side, the central bank is trying to contain inflation through their monetary policy. There have been a number of interest rate increases to try to contain the situation. Government continues to offer free senior secondary school education to our citizens, which has also continued to lessen the burden on families in terms of costs of living. Otherwise, without it, it would have been much worse. But ultimately, you deal with this crisis by expanding your production. If it's a food crisis, then we need to increase food production. And that is how we want to tackle it in Ghana. The energy side is a little bit more difficult since we are net importers of oil, and that we are taking things really at the dictates of the international market. So we're hoping that sooner or later the Ukraine crisis will abate and bring down energy prices for all of us. But I think that government is continuously looking at ways to deal with it.
Something else, it's really good that we had this opportunity to speak to you as an economist, and not just an economist, someone who's renowned globally. I think most people don't know that you have worked for the Central Bank of Ghana, you have been recognized in the United States, and just literally across Africa. And I just wanted you to let me know, the current president, William Ruto, he won on the economic model of the bottom-up economic model. So he's bringing in the local traders and the youth. As an economist, what do you think about this particular model, not just for Kenya, but for the broader African continent?
Yes, thank you very much, Judah. I think the bottom-up economic model is just a model of inclusiveness. So you are looking for inclusion. And I think that that is fundamentally a good model to go. If you, what you have seen in Africa since independence is you've had development without inclusion. So you get to a stage after 50, 60 years of independence, and then you are like, look, so many people don't even have a bank account. So many people, don't have access to electricity. So many mothers in villages die when they are giving birth because they don't have access to blood supply, and so on. So many people are excluded from the economic system. So if you are trying to transform an economy, you cannot transform it on the basis of exclusion, because that substantial population will be amongst those who are excluded, and they will operate in the informal sector largely. So I think that the idea that President Ruto has about a bottom-up model in terms of development is a good one. And I think it's one that many African countries should be emulating if they are already not doing so. I
think back in the early 2000s, I know that Ghana's inflation was at around 40%.
Yes.
And through your efforts, and obviously the efforts of other people, it came back to around 10%.
Yes.
What other tips would you have for, for leaders in this continent to do the same?
But okay, I mean, we were able to bring down inflation, but inflation has also gone up again with the recent increases in food prices and fuel prices. Our inflation now stands at 31%, and so on. But I think fundamentally you need good mix of fiscal policy and monetary policy. Inflation ultimately is a monetary phenomenon, but it's the fiscal that can really drive the monetary side of it. So if you can work to make sure that your balances on the fiscal side are not excessive, right? Your deficits are not excessive. It's like that you don't have to resort to monetary financing of that deficit to then create pressures on prices. Then you are able to contain inflation. We implemented an inflation targeting framework, one of the few countries in Africa at the time to do inflation targeting, and it has proven very successful. But of course, that alone is not sufficient. You have to look at the output side as well to make sure you increase production and productivity so that your supply side is also supporting the monetary policy.
During your time as vice president, the government has also worked hard to put in place a digital agenda in Ghana. How does that translate to the economic value for the people of Ghana, and why would that also be something all countries in Africa should work towards?
Thank you very much, Judah. I think that it is true that in Ghana we have really focused and we are pursuing digitalization as an economic strategy. When you look at the world and the way the global economy is moving, you've had your first industrial revolution and second. I mean, we are now in a fourth industrial revolution globally. And it is a revolution which is a digital revolution. It is a revolution that is based on data and systems. If you are an economy in this world and you don't digitalize, you are going to be left behind. And Africa has been left behind for too many of these periods. And so I believe, and it is very, very important, that digitalization is a key for African countries to leapfrog, in fact, many of the advanced economies. But we digitalize not for its own sake. It's not the technology, but you digitalize to solve problems. You digitalize to solve problems. And so we're pursuing digitalization to formalize the economy, to build a more inclusive economy, to deal with corruption, and to provide services to our people very efficiently from the government side, right? So you look at these pillars, and you're saying, look, a lot of people are excluded from the economy. You don't even know who is who. So you do digital IDs for your people. So you have unique identities for everybody. Once you have unique identities for everybody, you solve a lot of problems. You cannot have ghost workers on the public payroll, right? Because a ghost cannot have a fingerprint, right? So you solve that problem, right? You have unique identity. You soon solve voter issues, like who gets on the voter register. How can you put names on the voter register that don't belong? If there is a unique identity, you can't. You can't. So you solve that problem. We had an issue of address systems in Ghana, an effective address system where you can have an address for every location, whether it's on water or land, whether it's a mansion or a shack. We need addresses because you need to know where your people are. Now, we have therefore decided to go digital. And so Ghana now has a digital address system. Every part of the country, land or water, mansion or shack or wherever, has a unique digital address, which we have rolled out in the country. It solves a big, big problem because even in terms of e-commerce, if you want the delivery of food to your house and you don't have an address, it becomes a problem, right? So with rolling out the digital address system, we are solving a lot of problems. Directions to places, because when you go and apply for a job, they ask you, what is your address? And all of that, so you really solve. Then you talk about financial inclusion. We decided to do mobile money interoperability. It's not just interoperability between the telephone companies, say between Vodafone and Airtel or Tigo, whatever, but interoperability between the mobile wallet and the bank account. That is a different type of interoperability. And so we've done that in Ghana, which means that everybody that has a mobile money account practically has a bank account. And so we are solving that problem of a lack of financial inclusion by doing this type of interoperability. We were the first country in the continent to do so. And it means that today it's very, very easy for anybody to open a bank account in Ghana. Very, very easy. You have your national ID card, you get on your mobile phone, and then just dial a USSD code, choose one of the banks, and off you go. You've opened a bank account because with the national ID, they have all the KYC they need on you. You don't need to go to the bank, fill any forms and all of that. It is done. You see what I mean? So there you can sit at home, buy your electricity units on your mobile phone. You can find out which car has insurance or not, just dialing a USSD on your mobile phone. You can apply for virtually all the government services online, pay online. It makes life easier for our people. So we are pursuing digitalizing and then integrating the databases. You don't want the databases to sit in silos. And so by integration of the databases, you then get the value out of the digitization process. So you will be able to tell. And one of the added things that we will get is domestic revenue mobilization. Because you'll be able to tell who has paid their tax, who hasn't paid their tax, and make it easy for people to file taxes digitally and all of that. So I believe that digitalization is the way for African countries to go. And we are pursuing this and we are using it to solve problems and actually leapfrogging over many advanced countries in this area. I mean, a lot of people seem to think that African countries cannot be ahead of the advanced countries. My view is very, very different. In fact, in this area, we are leading the way. For example, Ghana, in the area of drones for the delivery of medical supplies, blood, vaccines to poor areas. We have implemented drones. Rwanda started it, but we today are the largest medical drone delivery service in the world, the whole world.
Impressive.
Yeah, we have drones flying all over the country. Each center is doing at least 100 flights a day, delivering medicines and so on. This is technology, and we can use those technologies to solve problems. By the way, I found out about this in Silicon Valley, and I said, look, this is more, would be more useful to us, and we should implement it very quickly, and which is what we did. You should take technology and use it to solve problems. And I think that this is what we are doing. And so digitalization can reduce corruption. People can apply for a passport without going to pay a bribe, can apply for a driver's license without. You're helping the poor. You are helping the marginalized, the vulnerable, those who don't have connections. Those are the people you help with digitalization. So you reduce corruption. And that is where I think we can increase productivity, create jobs. So many people are, selling on the internet now, because there's an address system and their payment system also. People can pay with their mobile money as here in Kenya. And, so Africa is actually leading in many of these areas globally.
It's really interesting, particularly you putting that digitization is not just for the sake of it, but having it find solutions.
That's right.
And looking at the enthusiasm you have about everything you're talking about, and I just went through your portfolio, everything you've done, and from the time you're studying at Oxford, and I'm like, do you ever get time to rest? Because I know as Vice President, you're currently sitting in different boards. I also believe you're consulting for the Central Bank of Ghana.
Well,
when do you rest?
Well, basically, I think that actually my wife also asked me that question. Do you ever rest? Because I enjoy what I do, and I do, of course, find time to rest. But the problems are so many, and I'm trying as much as possible to help my boss deal with a lot of these problems, because you inherit them, and you have to find solutions. And for me, that is why I'm in politics, right? Just to make sure you can help people solve problems.
Yes.
And that is so. I always say that maybe I'll rest later when we are done with more. But I'm okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Ghana will be having general elections in 2024.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure many Ghanaians are fronting your name to be the successor of the current president. Am I right? Are you working towards that as well?
Well, I think right now I'm just focused on helping my boss, the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, fulfill his vision and deliver on his agenda. We don't really have too much time for thinking about 2024 right now. I think that, if you get to 2024 and you don't have a record, you will have nothing to campaign on. So right now, we are focused on that, and we don't know what the future holds, but we'll focus on the work for now.
And lastly, as an economist, your main job is finding solutions, particularly on economies. And one of the biggest problems we're having in the country is having leaders who, it's not that they're not working, but they're diagnosing the problem wrongly.
Right.
How do you advise leaders? Right now we are moving into a new government in Kenya. How do leaders move forward to find better solutions to problems?
Well, I think that it's a difficult question in a way for me to advise other leaders, because they can also advise me. But I think that as in many issues to do with the economy, the solutions are not really rocket science in a sense. It's about diagnosing the problem in the first place. treat it, and you will not medicate properly, and you'll definitely maybe worsen the problem. So understanding the problem, talking to people who are experts in the field. You don't necessarily have to be an expert in the field as a policymaker, but you can speak to the experts in the field and get their views on these problems. But you have the sense to say, okay, this is good advice, I'm going to follow it, and then see how it goes. But I think that we should be consultative in how we approach issues, and listen to advice from the experts.
And maybe, is there any goodwill message to the current president, President William Ruto?
Well, I just met him earlier today. It's just to congratulate him for his victory and his inauguration. I just want to wish him very well. This is a major task, a major burden, but I know that God will see him through. He's a very smart man. He's been vice president for a while, so he knows what to do. And so we're praying for him, and we're wishing him the very, very best. And we are looking forward to what he does for Kenya.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
The capital of Rwanda to another province called the Muzanzi, which is about 2 hours 15 minutes drive from Kigali. This is also the same province that gorillas can be found, which I'm super excited about. We are heading to a massive place in Rwanda, which is called the Bedrocks Cultural Village. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So guys, while on our trip, guess what? We are here and you can see the city of Kigali from here. Look at this. So beautiful. We are back again, Charlie. Still here in Rwanda. I'm at a place called the Bedrocks, and here is where banana beer is. This is my first time hearing banana beer, and I'm going to be trying it for the first time. I'm super excited you all are coming along. Right here in Rwanda is the banana beer. Let's go. Let's experience everything that happens here. Let's go.
Bedrocks, it is it have two types. One, it is a Red Rock Cultural Center, where it is a social enterprise. Means that it says these tours, and it says restaurants, where it is a non-profitable organization. Its main purpose is for sustainable and conserving the nature around Volcano National Park. This is a campsite where we have camp tents, and we have other fixed tents. We have so many kinds of tents. every day they come by doing some activities like a basket weaving and even cleaning and even doing whatever. There they have community art gallery, means everything they do here, you found there on the community art gallery. Okay, thank you so much. I wish you, all of you, to come and sit, because here there is your seat. And we are going to start by first step, where we are going to peeling our banana. First of all, we are going to wash our hands. In Rwanda, we focus on hygiene. Yes. I love you. Experience. The experience means all of you, we are going to
work together.
Yes, to work together. Yes.
Can I just peel
as one? Yes.
So you're going to peel. And then you peel it.
Yes, you peel like that. And then the fluid you put inside here.
Okay.
Yes.
You're allowed to taste some banana, so I'm about to taste the banana. This is very sweet banana.
Okay, now as you see, this is our banana inside the breathing tube, and then this is our spear grass. In our local name, we call it spear ishinge. Ishinge. Ishinge means we use. It is a plant which is to be on some mountains of Rwanda. Yes, and there are some people who import them in Uganda. And then we are going to put inside here and then try to mix in two positions. 1, 2, 1, 2. By smashing activity. Smashing activity. This grass, it is like a filter.
Oh, I thought it.
Yes, it is like a filter where you put here and then try to mix. And then juice try to come. Yes, in the some press.
Wait, let me do it.
And it's really fun out here.
You're going to go in a two position. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yes, left to left. Left, yes, yes. 2. acts as like a filter. It means, as you see, there is a spear grass inside and even in the banana. Yeah. Where the juices is it's a cum. Yes. It means this is our juice.
Yeah.
Yes. It means we are going to separate by using this material. And we are going to test.
I have my banana beer. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers, my love. Cheers. Cheers. This is how it looks like. So this is the final product. When this is left for some time, it ferments and become a beer, just like how palm wine is made. So I'm going to be trying for the first time and let you know how it tastes like. Wow. It's actually very sweet. It's sweet. It has it's sweet. It's sweet just like banana juice without the fiber, and the back tastes like the grass because of the grass that you use, but it's not bitter. The back taste is not bitter. It's actually sweet. This is nice. You should try this. This is a beautiful experience here, and I love everything. The women are so nice. Everyone is just fun. Yeah, so cheers once again. I have a little left, so cheers. Thank you so much. So they served us with some maize and wait, give me potato, please. Thank you. So this is sweet potato. It's very hot and yeah, very hot and it's nice. Yeah, sweet potato looks different from the ones that I've seen in Ghana. Ours is a bit whitish or yellowish. Sweet potatoes.
Okay, enjoy.
Welcome. So I'm going to try my hands on weaving this. This is how it looks like. So
if it's possible, give that basket to madam, and then you continue there.
So to give this.
Things ready for there.
Aww.
Yes. And then
I think it's very similar to crocheting.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
With dance or cultural songs.
Yeah. Ah, nice. guys, this brings us to the end of this experience. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed being here, as much as I enjoyed the whole experience of banana beer making and the dancing, the cultural experience. If you want to come here and experience everything, it's $45 per group. So you want to come here with your family, you want to come here with your friends, whenever you are here in Rwanda, whenever you are here at the north, whenever you are here at the Bed Rocks Cultural Center. Until next time, I want to say subscribe, like and share. Until next time on my next video from Rwanda, I love you all. Mwah. I've seen about 5 gorillas. This is the reason why you should come to Rwanda. This is the reason why you should hike this mountain. This is the reason why you should see this animal. Hi guys, we are back again. Charlie, I hope you are doing amazing. I'm currently live at the Volcanoes National Park and we are going to be seeing the mountain gorillas. This is the main reason why I came to Rwanda and I'm super excited. I'm going to experience this with you. The view behind me is so beautiful. I'm imagining hiking to the top and seeing the gorillas. I hope you're excited just as I am. I'm going to take you along and yeah, we are currently here. We are going to have some coffee before we start the hike. So I'm going to take you along. I know you're super excited just as I am. So let's go guys.
My name is Beck. Beck, B-C-K.
Okay.
So I'm going to be your guys. We're going to share the best experience for them.
Woo! You're super excited.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
You're going to make it the best out of everybody.
The mountain gorillas are endemic species only here in that place. They have 2 different natural habitats. So there is one population of mountain gorillas which is located in the Virunga Massif. Virunga Massif, it's a big forest which is bordering 3 different countries, Rwanda, Congo, Uganda. So one side it's in Rwanda, we have Volcanoes National Park. Then behind it's in Congo, there is Virunga National Park. Then another side it's in Uganda, there is Mogahinga Gorilla National Park.
Gotten to the starting point and guess what, it's raining. That is why the raincoat was needed, so I'm so glad I rented a raincoat. So we're about to start. I have this cloth just to keep me this is not waterproof, but then I mean at least my hair and my my top doesn't get wet. I'm super excited about it. I'm really excited. This is my first time experiencing something like this and I think everybody should if you can. Yeah, so yeah, thank God for this. I can put my phone and my camera. So yeah, we're about to start and I'm going to take you along. This is how it looks like from here. Let me show you guys. This is the sticks we are going to use to hike because it's going to be a very tedious hike and yeah, I think this is going to be my most difficult hike. Yeah, because from what I hear and what they say about this experience, this is our tour guide. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Drew. Hi, Kalite. Are you all excited? Yeah, everyone.
The communities living around the park. So among the communities we have the porters. The porters are the people who help the tourists to carry the bags. Okay. So that's why you see the team of the people standing there. So if you need some of them,
they can help us.
Yes, they can help you.
Good.
Okay. This experience is in partnership with the Rwanda Development Board and it costs about $1,500 per person. So he's estimating 2 hours hike because of where the gorillas are currently and I'm super excited about this. Let's go guys.
The crops you see here with the white flowers, we call them pylethrum. So we make an insecticide.
This is the plant. It's super cold and I literally need like some breath on my hands so I can feel fresh. We have just started. We've done about 10 minutes of walk and we are still on. This is my team members. Everybody is excited to see the gorillas. Hi, Amina. Amina is from Morocco. Hi, Jocelyn. We are all super excited. So the military have their helicopters around for just in case of an emergency. There are a lot of groups We are just one of the groups. For people who can't walk for long hours, they have taken them to the shortest route. But we are using the longest route because we wanted to have a full experience of everything. This is how it looks like here. Sorry. Second stop, and everybody's just chilling and sitting. Got a shed. Bye bye. Got a little boy in there. Bye. How long do you think we are going to see the gorillas?
From here?
Yeah.
2 hours.
2 hours from here?
Yes.
I thought we have done almost 30 minutes already.
Yes.
Wow. The search begins. Let's go, guys. We have finally entered the jungle and we're about to start the real hike. We have spent about 30 minutes, but the guide says you have about 2 hours to find the gorillas.
This is the forest already. This is the natural habitat for the gorillas. So, before to meet the gorillas, I would like to tell you how you're going to behave here in the forest and in front of the gorillas. I told you, apart from the gorillas, here we have the other animals like buffaloes and elephants. So you know they are not friendly animals. That's why from here we have one park ranger who has the gun. So it's here for ourselves. In case we meet a buffalo's elephant, he can scare them using the gun. It's not allowed to leave any rubbish in the forest. You keep everything in your bags. Also, it's not allowed to take anything from the forest, like fruits, flowers, or other things. So, once we be nearby the gorillas, I'll give you the time to be prepared. I will show the place where you leave your walking sticks and your backpacks. We have to leave our sticks behind because still now the gorillas are having the bad memory of poaching programs. So many years ago, the poachers used the spears to hunt them. That's why in case you take the sticks to the gorillas, you can disturb them. So, after leaving the sticks and our backpacks, we meet the gorillas. Of course, we take your cameras, then we meet the gorillas. So with the gorillas, we stay 1 hour. That's maximum time. The end of 1 hour, we leave them. Because in case we stay more than 1 hour, it can stress them. So, with the gorillas, we stay together. We keep a tight group. And you take pictures for them, but don't use flash. Flash camera scare the gorillas. To eat,
Flashlights.
to eat, to drink with the gorillas, it's not allowed. You can do that before or after leaving them. Then, it's not good to point the gorilla with the fingers like that. Because when you point them like this, they think you have something in your hands, you want to throw to them. So don't point at them. But eye contact, no problem. You can facing them, even the silverback. The distance we have to keep from to the gorillas, we keep 10 meters. But sometimes it's not easy to keep a good distance because of the type of the vegetation. Sometimes the vegetation where it's too much dense, you can reduce it to be a distance. Also, the most of the time, that distance can change because of the behavior of the gorillas. Because the gorillas, they are more friendly to humans, so they don't mind to come close to us. In case the gorillas come close to us, what we do, we have to move back slowly Then we make sure that we have good distance. In case the gorillas come to us using the same way we are, what we do, we have to go to one side, we give it away, then the gorillas come to us. In case the gorillas come to you to touch you, it's happening often. To touch you, to grab you like this, or to kick you. So that is always a friendly interaction. That means, in that case, please don't be scared. It's normal behavior. They do that for fun. Good. But for you, you are not allowed to touch them back, of course.
Okay. Don't touch them back.
For the silverback and other big boys, they are always more confident. They want to show you how strong they are. Sometimes they come to you, they beat on the chest, they break some big trees, or making the big noise. I know it's scary, but in that case, what we do, it's not allowed to run away, because when you run away, immediately it can throw you. So what do? You crouch down, you submit like this, and then you talk to them.
Wow. What do I say? Hello.
You speak good language.
What's their language?
We are practicing how to make. Let's all go. One exciting thing the guide mentioned to us is the fact that when the gorillas eat the sprout of bamboos, they get drunk, so they can be more hyper. But then he's very sure about their behavior, so whenever they behave as such, he's going to let us know and know how to behave, just as he has shared with us earlier on. So yeah, it's so muddy, and this is how it looks like from here. Look at the very beautiful view, and down here is down the valley, and yeah, it's quite a steep valley. Look at the view from here. We are currently high above sea level. That's the township over there. It's so foggy, it's difficult to tell. How far are we from the gorillas?
This is the halfway.
Halfway?
Yes.
So we still have more than an hour to go, because it looks like we are not finding.
This forest is the oldest national park in Africa. Has been created in 1925 because the gorillas here were identified for the first time in 1902 by a German. So after a few years, in 1925, the king of Belgium decided to create this forest as the first national park in Africa, just for gorilla conservation purpose.
Currently having a snack break and a water break, so yeah, you're all invited. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
We are having banana and cupcakes as snack.
Let's do
this snack is well needed. The tour guide says we should avoid this plant because if it touches your skin, it's going to eat you. Visibility here is currently very poor, so I'm not going to allow this thing touch my skin, but it can touch my dress. So look, so foggy here. So we are currently here. We are not supposed to talk too much, and we've seen one, but we need to get close to them. We are supposed to wear nose masks because of COVID, and yeah. But before hiking, we all did our COVID test, but then we all have to protect ourselves. This is our local guide. Hello. Look at the gorilla. This here is the silverback, which is the leader of the group. They tend to develop a silver section of hair over their back and hips from 12 years old.
So guys, he's currently eating. So guys, we've seen about 5 gorillas. This is the reason why you should come to Rwanda. This is the reason why you should hike this mountain. This is the reason why you should see this animal. I've seen it from there for the first time and I'm really, really happy. I'm overwhelmed. Like, guys, they are so beautiful and wow, it's just like we see on TV, just like we see in Nigeria, just like we see on YouTube. Like, I get to experience it, and this experience, mwah. Thank you, Rwanda Development Board. So, we are currently searching for more families here. So, yeah, this is how it's going here. No, there's somebody there. How old do you think that he is? 2 years. 2 years. Oh, okay. So this particular one is a very young one, and he's really enjoying. He's been eating for some time now. Oh, I just spotted another one here. Oh, it's so foggy. It's so difficult to see. Sorry. Come up. This is the bigger one. He's coming here. I'm really, really happy I was able to do this. This is yeah, this is how I look now. My shoes are so dirty everywhere and I'm so wet, but then I was able to see them, which makes me so happy, which makes my dream come true, which makes all the things I see on TV a reality. This is an amazing experience. Everything that has a beginning definitely has an end. This brings us to the end of the hike, and the most difficult part is hiking down, which is going to take another 2 hours to do. So yeah, we are hiking down the forest and it's so slippery, but then I feel so much fulfilled because I was able to see them in their natural habitat. This is something you won't get to see. The only countries you can see them is Rwanda, Congo, and where?
Uganda.
And Uganda. So these are the only 3 countries. So when you want to experience the gorilla hiking, please make it a point to come to Rwanda. This is a place. This experience is nice. Yeah, even though it's nice, it's difficult. It's the most difficult thing I've done in my life, my entire life. Look at how the ground looks. I really appreciate the tour guys. You guys are doing amazing. Cheers. Cheers. Remember when we got here, you could see the view, but look at how it's so foggy now. It's really steep. We finally made it to the wooden bridge where we started. I've never been this excited to see a wooden bridge in my life. This experience, wow, it's not for the faint at heart. But is it worth it? A big yes. A very big yes. You guys remember when we started? There was no fog here. But look at now. Everywhere is foggy. And yeah, it feels as though we are in the clouds. I'm sure when we descend the mountain to the start point, I mean this is basically the trail start point, but down there is where the offices are, so we are going there. And yeah, I'm super excited I was able to make it, because it's not a joke at all. So guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed hiking on top of this mountain, as much as I enjoyed documenting my entire experience here. Until next time on my next video, right here sorry, right here from Rwanda. Super cold. I love you all. Until next time, I want to say mwah.
You don't rely on only strikers in tournament like this. You need to have a cohesion that everybody can score from any angle. This World Cup will be the toughest World Cup ever.
If you are called to serve as maybe a scout for the Black Stars, or perhaps work in the background for the Black Stars, will you take the offer?
I'm still with Great Olympics. Let me enjoy my Ghana Premier League a bit.
Hello and welcome again to another edition of Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafio, and today I'll be interviewing a very interesting personality. He happens to be an ex-Black Stars player who currently plays for Great Olympics, and I guess you know who I'm talking about. Well, we're taking a short break, and when we return, we'll delve into the conversation. This is Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. So welcome back from the break. My name is Joseph Adamafio. I'm here with Ajiman Bedu, who currently plays for Great Olympics. Ajingu.
Bro.
It's been a long time.
Yes, bro. How are you?
I'm fine. 2 years ago, you were on Sports Check with Daniel Drew.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Ajiman Bedu, Ajingu. How did you get that name, by the way?
Mostly people call me Nika Nika. This radio presenter gave it to me. No, Abate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we came back from the African Cup. I called my mom on the phone and said, Kwajo Nika Nika. I said, where is it from, mommy? He said they were saying on radio. So the Ajingo is because of the Ajimai, so I think like they just cut it on Ajingo. But when I was in Brekum, they used to call me Owen, because I was very short and I was playing number 10. I play behind the striker. So they said the way I was quick, I was like Michael Owen. So when you go to Brekum, people knows the Owen. But you know the Ajingo is because of the Ajimai.
Now, you play for Great Olympics. How has the feeling been ever since you returned to the Ghana Premier League?
Well, it's been very great. I started training with them 21 days ago, and I'm really enjoying myself. The guys are really doing well, work hard to this extent. We are ready for tomorrow. The league is starting tomorrow, so the feeling has been very fantastic.
Well, for you as a player, what changes have you seen ever since you returned to the Premier League? I read a little bit about you. You said you used to play for Brekum Arsenal. Now you went to Kotoko, you didn't play much, then you got your opportunity to go abroad. Now that you are back, what are the changes that you've seen? You've played in the G6 tournament.
Well, I think there's still quality in the league. Although, you know, our pitches at times, it doesn't allow us to see the kind of quality we have in the league. So, quality-wise, nothing has changed in the league. The only thing I've seen is the league is really physical, very, very physical. So, that's the only thing I've seen. But for quality, there's a lot of quality in the league, a lot of quality.
With quality, when you look at your team, playing with the young guys, do you think they are giving you some competition in the team? You are fighting for places in the team.
Yeah, of course. When I started training with them for the first 2 days, they were giving me, you know, a little bit of respect. You know, they don't want to come on me very hard. And I told them, guys, this is my job. I've been in the job. Just come, let's enjoy ourselves, play how you want to play, and just let me get into what I'm getting myself into, to just know the kind of league I'm going to start with. So from there, yes, they started coming in hard, and we are enjoying ourselves with training stuff. And the G6 also have really helped me to know the kind of league I'm coming in, and they have really helped me to build on my physical strength as well. And now I think 90% getting 100%, and I'm ready for the league, and I will enjoy myself with this great talent we have in Ghana here.
Before you get into the league, winning the G6 tournament, first trophy, Inkum came to Artofok, won a trophy. Suleiman Tari at least has won 2. You yourself, you've won 1. What would you like to say?
Well, let me congratulate my colleagues, the young talented chaps, the Olympics players, for the wonderful job they have done, and they have really helped me to settle very well as well. Because when I came, I trained only 2 days and I played my first game. But the kind of connection, the vibe I have with them have really helped me. And it's great to start with something like this. It would boost the morale of the guys to go into the league. We know the league was very difficult this year, very difficult one. Last year they did very well, came on 4th or 5th on the league. We want to do well more than that, but it all depends on how we are going to start. So the G6 have really helped. Congratulations to the guys and to the coach. He is able to have this kind of quality in the team. So we will take it from there and move on with the Ghana Premier League.
As the Ghana Premier League starts, which teams do you think are going to give you guys a run for your money next season?
No, for the games I have played, I think you can't write any team off, especially when you are going on away games. There are some venues that are very difficult to play. When you go to Doma, it's very difficult. Brekum, my hometown, I know how the stadium is very hot one as well. When you go to Tamale, it's not an easy game there. Now they have 2 teams there, which is very difficult. Mediama is not easy. Karela have watched the games when I was in Europe, and I know the kind of venues we are going to approach. So you just need to train very hard, map your strategies, and go into the game. But trust me, all the venues are really difficult. I have played here before going 12 years ago, and I know how the venues are. But this year, with the quality we have and how the teams have really prepared, every venue is difficult for any team.
So if any venue is very difficult, do you think Olympics can win the league this time? Because last year they came close, they were fit, they lost grip of it, they were at some point first and stuff. This season you are back, you are in it for Great Olympics. What do you think can they win the league?
No, listen, the league is coming to start. We haven't even played our first game. A difficult situation for us. 34 games in the league. You can't say you can win the league. You take game after game. Now our focus is on Bechem. Remember, we played them 3 games before we are coming to meet them tomorrow. We played them a friendly game at the Ajenga Astrotef. We played them in the G6, the first game we drew, and they won on penalties. And we met them at finals, and we were able to beat them 2-0 to take the cup. Now the first game of the league, we are going to meet them. It won't be an easy game. I have watched their team. They have a total quality in the team. They move a lot of interpositional changes. This kind of things when you're playing them, it's not an easy game. So winning the league right now is not the focus. The focus is to get everybody ready and take game after game.
Can you play 90 minutes?
For what I have seen and where my fitness level have reached, I think I can. Yeah. It depends on my performance and how the coach will see me. There's a lot of games and 34 games, so you will see how it goes. But I think I'm ready for the league.
So, which of the games are you really looking forward to? Against Kotoko, Hearts? Are you looking for that game against Chelsea when you finally return?
Listen, I'm ready for all the games. I'm looking at all the games, but obviously, where I have started everything was in Brekum. Fortunately or unfortunately, I play for Brekum Arsenal, so I'm not going to meet them. I will meet Brekum Chelsea, but it's still Brekum. So it will be a bit emotional to go there to witness the kind of theft I left 12 or 13 years ago. I'm looking for that game. I'm looking to meet my good friend Samuel Nkum as well, because I started everything in my football career from with him. So it will be nice acting to meet him. Although we chat a lot, he's my good friend, we speak a lot, but on the field it's been like 8-9 years we haven't played together or like things like that. So I'm ready for all the games, but Brekum will be one stadium where I'll be emotional to go.
But that Gamashi derby, Olympics versus Hearts, it's a big game, you know.
No, it's a league game. It's only 3 points.
Really?
Yeah, it's a normal league game.
The fans don't see it that way.
No, I understand from the aspect of the fans. Yes, I understand. But a footballer is 3 points. It's nothing special.
Are you ready for the hooting? You know, Olympics fans, when sometimes you make a mistake, an error. Remember that CK?
Listen, my brother. I have been in the job for long. I thought about it before joining the Ghana Premier League. I love football, and I love the fans. This kind of change, if it's not in football, football won't be football. So we are ready for everything.
Let's look at you coming back to the Ghana Premier League. Some of your friends, ever since you joined, have they contacted you to say, Ajingo, how are things going? Can I return? Have you been hearing from some of them?
Well, some congratulated me, but what I can say is everybody has his mindset. My mindset is I haven't stopped playing football. The 2 concrete offers I got in Europe, it wasn't too favorable. Once it wasn't too favorable and I'm not going out and I haven't stopped playing football, I can't stay at home and be rusty. Training alone and training with the club is different. So I wanted to join the club, not to be rusty, and we see how my football career will go again. So some have congratulated me. So what I can say is, if you haven't stopped playing, you haven't gotten anything outside, you can't stay at home. Just come, let's make the league exciting, help these young talented players to grow and to enjoy the game you like best.
But are you using this opportunity to also get in your coaching badges and all that? Or?
I think it's an option, but right now I just want to concentrate on Olympics and enjoy football a bit.
How many seasons can you go playing?
If tomorrow I wake up and my body is not responding on the pitch, I will quit football.
When you say your body is not responding, maybe you can run and all that.
No, I'm a footballer. If my body is not responding on the pitch on how I want it to respond, I will call it a quit.
Okay, on that note, we are taking a short break. On return, we'll delve into the Black Stars and other players who are doing so well in their club teams and all that. My name is Joseph Adamafiu and you're watching Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. Welcome back from the break. My name is Joseph Adamafiu. You're watching Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV, and I'm here with Ajingo. Ajiman Bedu.
Yes, boss.
Before we leave the Ghana Premier League and talk about the Blasters, let's look at Kudu's performance at Ajax. There were talks during the transfer window that he should take a loan move away from Ajax and all that. He decided to stay. The coach decided to give him his first opportunity to start a game. In the Champions League, he scores a goal. What do you make of his performance and the
Listen, I really love that guy from my heart, and he's super talented footballer. I love footballers with character, and he have character. You see, he wanted to move. He speak out that he's a bit frustrated because he's not getting playing time. The kind of qualities he have, he thinks he needs to play. The coach sees him otherwise. He gave him the opportunity, and he delivered. This is the kind of character players I love. And let me tell you, right now in Ghana, if you are talking about even 3 talented footballers we have in the national team now, you can't write him off. He has everything in football. He knows how to go in spaces. He knows how to shoot. He can handle the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. He's an icon for Ghana.
For Felix Afena-Gyan, we all don't know his decision why he moved back. It appears that he also wants to get more playing time in Italy. You've played in Italy. You've played quite a while with Udinese. Do you think his move is good? And would you have taken such a decision if you are in his shoes? Because you were in the Black Stars. He's also in the Black Stars. You were again also coming on as a substitute and all that. At that point in time, people explained that being a substitute, I think Ahmed Barusu explained that being a substitute doesn't mean that you're a bench warmer, but you're a game changer. Do you think his move to Kmonisa is good?
He's very young. He's played, let's say, 2 games with the national team, and he did very well. Obviously, maybe the coach will need him in the World Cup, so he needs to play. Because the World Cup is different stage altogether. You will see it as a World Cup, but it's different stage. It's a good move. He was one of the fantastic coaches in the world. And unfortunately for him, when they signed Belotti, I knew maybe his game time would be limited. And he have chosen very well to go to this club to get a playing time before the World Cup. And I think it's a very good move. It will help him to regain the confidence and to help us in the World Cup.
Do you think that gaining more playing time at club level will give competition in the Black Stars squad to be named for the World Cup?
Yeah, but I think you need competition in the team. You see, this World Cup will be the toughest World Cup ever.
Why?
Why is the tournament will be in November. The leagues are going on. So every country who is coming is bringing with his full force top quality players with great form. Because the league will not go on recess, then you go back 1 week, camping and stuff like that. The league is going on, then we enter the World Cup. Second, the substitute FIFA have changed. Now it's 5 substitute. Imagine if your bench is not rich and other teams, their bench is rich. You are doomed. So you need quality on the field and on the bench. So getting the playing time is good for all the players because you can't use only 2 games in the World Cup that you want to regain your form back. It's just only 2 games. You are gone. So all those players, all my prayers is they will get the playing time to be on top of their game before the World Cup starts. Because when you go to Portugal, Cancelo is playing every 3 days. Bruno Fernandes is playing. Vicino is playing. All their players are playing. So our should also get the playing time before the World Cup so that we can have a formidable squad to face all these kind of teams. But quality-wise, no doubt about it. The inclusion of these new guys in the team is a plus to the team as well. But all lies in the hands of the handlers. I know they are well experienced. Where the coach is coaching is well experienced. They have passed through a lot of coaches. Chris is well experienced as well. He can help me a lot. George, well experienced. Richard Oleleke is the goalkeeper trainer, well experienced. He's been there. So I think we will have a good team for the World Cup this year.
What are your thoughts about the players who have naturalized and coming to play for the Black Stars? Would it be difficult for them to settle into the Black Stars? During your time, you had the likes of Quincy Owusu-Abiyi came, Kevin Prince Boateng also came. Will it be difficult for Inaki Williams, who doesn't speak the local language, or perhaps the likes of Stefan Ambrosius and Ransford Ibu?
Kevin, when he was here, I don't think he speaks Chi, but he was one of the funniest players who joined the team. I mean Kevin Prince Boateng. He did very well, great job with the national team. So I don't think communication-wise will be a problem. I think football now have really changed to a different dimension, which the communication is a key, but it's not a key. The mindset of a player is a key. The character the player has is a key. And with this players you have mentioned, I think they have the character, they have the mindset. They know why they chose Ghana. This is not like a club side you can change nationality again or change a club. This nationality switch is once and for all. So they have thought about it, have known the kind of nationality they are coming to join. So they are welcome at home. You support them with everything, but they should help us to build a formidable team beyond the World Cup.
The game against Brazil, before we talk about World Cup, what are your expectations? Did you play that one that you played?
Yeah, in London, yes.
What was the preparation towards that match, knowing that you're going to play the likes of Ronaldinho, Pato, and the likes?
A good confidence for the player, playing with these quality players, and to know the kind of World Cup you are going in. Most of our players are very new players, so they need to test this kind of friendly matches before the World Cup. So it's good thing. Whatever the scoreline will be, I'm not looking at this. I'm looking at the kind of team we are building beyond the World Cup, and the team we are building for the World Cup. So it's a good friendly game for the Stars.
What was your memory in that match? Like something memorable from that match you would recall?
No, when I'm playing, when I don't win anything, I don't have memory. We lost the game, but we played well. That's what I can say. And it was just a friendly game. It was a preparation to get this kind of games, so that you know the kind of teams you are going to meet in future. So it was just one of the normal preparation games, and we really enjoy ourselves. But we lost the game, so no memories at all.
No memories at all. Now let's talk about the World Cup. Uruguay, Portugal, South Korea. Which games do you think we can win? Which games do you think we can lose? Which game do you think this one the Black Stars can settle for a draw?
Listen, when somebody tell you our group is easy, then the person is lying to you. Let's be frank to each other. We have one of the difficult groups. We want to do revenge, but the revenge have to be on the field. It's not like what we will say. We need to prepare very well, be mentally tough, because I see a lot of quality in this Uruguay team, even more than the.
You think so?
Yes, because we will concentrate only on Suarez.
Not only Suarez.
Who again?
Perhaps maybe Cavani will be there.
Yes, but now they have Darwin Nunes. Don't say he's not doing well in Liverpool for now because of, so he will not do well. No, he's a very good footballer. 6 months ago, he played 32 games. He was scoring 26 goals when he was in Portugal. He's a very good striker. They have a lot of. Portugal, you don't need to talk about them, because even if you close your eyes, you can mention all their players. Korea, they have.
Song Heung-min?
Yes, not only him. They have 6 players who are playing in Europe.
Yeah.
And they have, yes, they have 3 in Germany, 2 in Spain, and 3 in EPL. And I have seen them, I have watched them, I have done an analysis about them, and they have a team that is difficult to beat. You don't need to focus on anyone. Concentrate on game after game and prepare before the World Cup, and you can do well.
If you are called to serve as maybe a scout for the Black Stars, or perhaps work in the background for the Black Stars, will you take the offer so that you do it to help us at the World Cup? Perhaps if you don't want to play.
No, my knowledge have not reached there now. I want to concentrate on Olympics and enjoy football for now.
But we've seen in the past players, Utuado started as a scout for the Black Stars.
But look at his pedigree. I haven't reached that pedigree yet. He started, he stopped playing, and he went in. I'm still with Great Olympics. Let me enjoy my Ghana Premier League a bit.
I get that point. But looking at the Black Stars, the changes that we are going through currently, do you think that the striking department, we need more in the striking department?
You see, football, yes. Like Asamoah, he will be in the game, then 90 minutes he will do wonders. Yes, but if the striker is not having a good day, where from the midfielders? Where is the midfielders? Where is the set pieces? It came to a time in the national team, Jumensa will come from the back, corner kicks, then he will head the ball and score. Mike Lesian, Sule Muntair, free kicks, then they will score. You don't rely on all the strikers in tournament like this. You need to have a cohesion everybody can score from any angle. And free kicks is key in this kind of games. Corner kicks, set pieces. So yes, strikers is important, but you need to have all around that. When you have set pieces too, you have midfielders or attackers who are very dangerous, and rely on your attacking midfielders as well.
Rely on our attacking midfielders. You've seen Mohamed Kudus, I've mentioned him, Andrea, Pate will be there, and the likes. The midfield is going to be very heavy. What should they do to ensure that they stop these opponents, Portugal, Uruguay, and South Korea, from scoring and also rather the Blasters scoring more goals?
No, when you have the ball, let him struggle to get the ball from you. And when he get the ball, try to get the ball easy from him. And you are good to go as a midfielder.
The 2010 World Cup, 2014 World Cup, as a team, did you guys set up a group that sometimes you were talking to each other as midfielders or some core blasters that, okay, this is the thing that we are going to do in midfield and all that? Because sometimes you watch the Blasters play, Sule Muntari, ACN and Lai Kiston and Stephen Appiah. It was like they knew where every player was and stuff. How do you guys ensure that you build that cohesion in the team? Because as you said, the World Cup, the clubs will not release the players early. So how do they build that cohesion now that everybody's playing for their club team?
You know, one is character they have, and two is communication on the field. Etienne and Sule, they started from the under-17, they went to the under-20 World Cup, they know each other very well. It's like me playing with Rabiu Mohammed in midfield or Andre Didayu. I know a lot of movement about them. So there is one. Two, we have something in football called individual brilliance. That is why at times if the team is not doing well, then an individual will avail himself and be a hero. So individual brilliance is also good. You train with him, you play 1 or 2 games with him. At least you need to have that intelligence to know how he moves and how he controls ball. And the individual brilliance is the key to this kind of questions you are asking me.
Finally, as we wrap up on Sports Check, what's your memorable game in the national team? Which one?
2.
Okay, tell me.
One is the Under-20 World Cup, which is an obvious I will choose. And one is the goal I scored, which was nominated for Puskas Award.
Tell me more about that particular goal.
Well, it was a rehearsal at training grounds. It was Andre Dede, it was a set piece, that's a corner kick. Andre will give the ball to Inkum, Inkum will give it to me, then I will do a cross. Andre gave the ball to Inkum, Inkum gave the ball to me. The first control, I lost it and the ball raced like this, so I didn't have an option than to go for power. Fortunately for me, it entered.
Well, who is your favorite coach in the national team? You play under different coaches. Who you say was your favorite coach?
I have a lot of coaches. I have a good relationship with all the coaches. But the person that I would choose is Slastete.
I wanted to put that as my last question. Why would you say is your favorite coach?
Well, it was through him that I'm here today, and I passed through a lot of coaches, and the kind of encouragement, the kind of things he put in my head before the Under-20 African Cup, and where I have reached, I think he has really helped me in my career. But I don't want to forget Pagwasi Fabian as well. He took me from Berlin FC, it was 2nd division, from 2nd division straight to Brekum Arsenal, which was a premier team. So these 2 coaches, I don't joke with them.
Do you sometimes feel disappointed that Salah Stete never became the Black Stars coach at the peak of his coaching career?
No, I don't feel disappointed. I think he's proud of himself, what he has achieved for the nation, and the nation will be happy for him, what he has done as well. But you know, every season with what it brings. So maybe that season, the country thinks otherwise, and it's a good choice for the country. The most important is the country, it's not the individual. But I think what he has done for Ghana, he needs to be celebrated.
He needs to be celebrated. As we wrap up on the show, final question. What's that one thing that you think Ghanaians don't know about Ajiman Bidu? Your music life, actor?
Well, I'm a Shatta Movement fan. I don't hide it. I love listening to everybody, but you know, everybody have a preferred choice. But I think I love to do a lot of research about everything. Everything. Agriculture, football, politics, everything. Like, I love to do a lot of research to know a lot. But maybe when I'm playing with an opponent, yeah, I try to, every time, you know, it will be going through my mind like the style of play he plays. If he's a midfielder, he's powerful, where he's powerful, where he's not powerful, you know. If he defends well or he's attacking midfielder, you know, I read a lot of things, but it's all based on the research. So I like to do a lot of research. Maybe that's what people don't know.
Okay. So that's how we wrap up on this edition of Sports Check here on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Joseph Adamafi, and I did this with Ajuman Bidu, and Richard Vanderpoy was behind the scene handling the two cameras. Thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Bye for now.
We've been supporting Ghana with a project. Some of the money under that project has gone to finance this center. And we're now in the process of designing a follow-on digital operation together with the government. And we're trying to see what are some of the things that have worked well in this ongoing project that can be scaled out and replicated into a future operation, and what are some of the other stuff. We know that Ghana has huge potential. It's a very dynamic, enterprising country. We know, of course, that the coverage of digital is relatively good in Ghana, but still there's room to grow. And especially, how do you get more people access to digital broadband at prices they can afford, which is a big issue everywhere. You know, we find that in many countries, maybe the upper middle class can afford digital data, but it's harder for people on the lower end of the income spectrum. So how can we get digital broadband out to everybody? How can we get digital skills out to people? I think it was William who was saying in particular, used to people who would come from the upper north, upper west or upper east regions to get the training in Accra. Delighted to see that that's moving out to other areas. So right now we're just taking stock of what's been achieved, and I'm sure we'll digest that and feed it into the next operation we support.
interventions by partners that we are enjoying from in the region also includes JICA chiefs, USAID, a variety of USAID assisted programs are abound in the region. And we also have the Savannah signatures and other associated related bodies that give us the health needs of our people. It is significant to note that the government flagship program, the Agenda 111, is not left out. The Northern region hasn't been left out in this. And we have a fair share of the Agenda 111 projects that are being undertaken in the region. As you are no doubt aware, the flagship program projects of our government in the health sector is Agenda 111, which was launched on the 17th of August 2021 by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. These projects, when completed, are expected to significantly deepen delivery of health care at the district levels and at all levels, improve access to healthcare services for all citizens, thus ensuring the attainment of the United Nations Goal 3, which talks about good health and well-being. The stark reality is that access to good health facilities in the region has been very poor, to say the least. The current OPD per capita in the region is 0.5, which is far below the national target of 1. It is therefore very welcoming that our region has not been left out in the Agenda 111 projects. It is instructive to note that out of the 16 MMDAs, 8 of them are benefiting from the Agenda 111 projects, and the region will also benefit from a psychiatric hospital that would be located in Tamale. The MMDAs are Sagnarugu, Savulgu, Nantong, Saboba, Myong, Pandai, Nanumba South, and Kumbungu, while the psychiatric hospital will be in Tamale. I am happy to announce that works on all 8 Agenda 111 projects are progressing steadily, and when completed, the access to good health facilities and well-being of our people will be very much improved. You have a picture gallery of project sites of these projects that are self-explanatory. You have the Nantong, the Savulgu municipality, Sanarugu, the Wulesi in the Nanumba South District, and Pandai and Sabuba as well. All of these project sites are actively in action now when visited. And besides the Agenda 111, the region on its own have gone into health projects that are being supported by the various agencies, and we have a total of 118 health projects that cuts across all the 16 MMDAs. In Gushegu, for instance, we have a total of 8 projects. Karaga has 7, Pandai 8, Kumbungu 7, Myong 4, Nantong 11, Nanumba North 11, Nanumba South 14, Saboba, and in that order, that all adds up to the total of 118 health projects that are being undertaken across the length and breadth of the northern region. Some of these projects have been completed and awaiting commissioning. Some have already been commissioned and put in good use. And the picture gallery is an explanation of what we are talking about. Some of them are chiefs compounds, cottages, nurses' cottages, some as well as the construction of OPDs and other auxiliary buildings that would help in the healthcare delivery of the region. We have a lot of them that have been completed, about 70% have been completed and some of them are in use. I think you can scroll so that the pictures would speak for themselves. Aside them, we have very good health indicators also. And aside the provision of these facilities, we have very impressive achievements, infrastructure in this health sector. The region also has a good story to tell when it comes to critical health indicators. These indicators impact on the Human Development Index and the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals. The health indicators that for the purpose of this program can be National Health Insurance Authority and other indicators. On the National Health Insurance, it must be noted that the Northeast and Savannah regions were weaned off the Northern region in 2020. It is worth noting that all the figures available from the NHIA and the numbers of core poor people known as indigents being enrolled in the scheme has been raised significantly in the Northern region. We all know that the Northern region is one of the poor areas in the country. So we shouldn't be surprised to see that the figure for the indigents is a little bit higher as compared to other regions that we are covering. So the table, you look at the table, you would see that all the numbers in red indicates the indigents that have been registered. Those are the core poor people who cannot pay for the basic health insurance premium. The assemblies and other government agencies would always do this on behalf of these people. And that is a manifestation of the improvement of the health services of the people. The Northern region, let me just flip through all these figures that you have seen on the table there have sources that are quoted so that we can easily access them from the source that would make it easier for us to refer and make use of the indicators. Let me get to the COVID-19 updates of the Northern region. There is no doubt that we have all experienced the devastating effects of COVID-19 in all facets of our lives. Thankfully, due to the prudent measures put in place by our government through the various state institutions, we can confidently say that we are almost out of the woods in the Northern region with COVID-19. Just as other parts of the country, our region was not spared with COVID-19. The following tables and graphs tell our story in relation to COVID-19. As usual, the source of it is under the footnotes, and you can see that there have been marked improvements in the figures, and the Northern region did very well in the combating of COVID-19 and probably had the least deaths with COVID-19 related deaths during the period that it was devastating. And we also look at the COVID vaccines, the coverage on the COVID vaccines, and you realize that there has been a significant improvement. And apart from the Northeast region, the Northern region is leading in the immunization effects of the COVID vaccines. This is a table that you can also access to make good use of the figures and to see how the Northern region fared well. In terms of actual vaccinations, there is no region that has beaten the Northern region to that. It is only when you come back to the complete dosage that you have the Northeast region, the Northern region coming second to the Northeast region. health sector has seen tremendous improvement under the leadership of His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, and for which reason the well-being of the people of the northern region has been improved significantly. Even though we are not there yet, we will still put on measures that would help us improve on the health well-being of our people. Then we turn our attention to transport or transportation. You know, as we are all aware, transportation involves the roads and the transporting the people themselves. And air, and this also comprises air, sea, land, and land transport, and rail, actually. Unfortunately, for the purposes of our region, we can only talk about air and road transport, because we don't have seas in the northern region, neither do we have rail transport in the northern region. And it must be emphasized that contrary to what others want to believe, the phase 2 of the Tamale Airport project is the brainchild of our government, and the sword was cut for the commencement of this project on Thursday, 15th August 2019 by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I am happy to announce that the airport development phase 2 project has been completed and awaiting commissioning by His Excellency the President before the end of the year. I wish to extend a very hearty invitation to all of you to come and grace the historic commissioning of the Tamale International Airport when an appropriate date is fixed. The expansion works, including the construction of a modern terminal, building and ancillary facilities. The terminal is designed for an annual passenger throughput of 400,000 capacity. The features of the completed phase 2 project include a VIP lounge, 2 boarding gates, 4 self-service check-in kiosks, 8 check-in decks, airline offices, commercial retail area, a multi-purpose terminal to include high travel facilities in a 5-kilometer road network, among others. The airport has a 350 capacity car park area, a technical area which includes a reservoir for potable water and firefighting, as well as sewage treatment plant. It is on record that the airport can boast of the best tarmac in the country. The economic importance of the airport to the region cannot be overemphasized. Suffice it to say that there is serious potential for investment in the following areas: the maintenance, repair and operation facility in the future for the West African sub-region. It could be a major hub for air cargo for exporting agricultural produce in and out of the country. Pictures of the new Tamale Airport Phase 2 project is on display. And this is the main terminal. The main terminal that has been completed and waiting commissioning by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, or whoever he will delegate to do that before the end of the year. This is the main road that leads you from the main Bolga Tamale Road to the airport. These are all the road infrastructure networks that has come with the new terminal. This is the car park, the 350 capacity car park area. We go in and we have the self-check-in equipment, forest exchange area. These are all part of areas of the new terminal building. The waiting area, and this is the new Hajj village that is one of its kind, never seen anywhere in the world. I don't think that there is any place that you can find a complete terminal that has been built to airlift Hajj pilgrims. I think not even in Saudi will you find this. we are most grateful as Muslims to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, for giving us this facility to boost Islam. These are all check-in areas that would facilitate our air travel. On roads, we have also acquired the bus rapid transport program into the northern region, and as I speak, 5 buses have arrived to begin the bus rapid transport system within the Tamale metropolis. And the bus rapid transport system, that is popularly known as Ayalolo, is ready. A committee has been put in place to make sure that the running operation modalities are all put in place so that we can have a smooth takeoff of that system. It is an undeniable fact that most of the traffic from the port of Tema to the landlocked countries use Tamale as a thoroughfare, making it very important for both local and international vehicular traffic. On this note, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, launched the 2 billion Government of Ghana Sino Master Project Support Agreement and cut the sod for the first interchange in the northern region, in the northern sector of the country, during a colorful and pregnant ceremony in Tamale, which was graced by His Majesty Ndanyana Bukari II on Wednesday, April 10, 2019. This project, when the sod was cut, we were hearing all sorts of stories about the project. People thought that it was one of the political promises that politicians could always make. But today, His Excellency, the President, has been vindicated, and any traveler through Tamale or through the northern region and the other northern parts of the country will attest to the fiscal features of this project. The Tamale Interchange project has been successfully completed and open to traffic following its historic commissioning by His Excellency on Tuesday, 29th March 2022. The benefit of this project is quite immense to the region. Indeed, it is unprecedented as the first of its kind in any part of the northern part of Ghana. Apart from easing vehicular traffic, it has changed the skyline of Tamale, and we in Tamale are very grateful to the President for this great project. This includes the trade. This type of project cannot come without any benefits, and the benefits of this includes the trade activities have been increased, thereby boosting the local economy. Generation of employment opportunities for our teeming youth. The project has added to the artistic beauty of the city. When you are coming in and you find the cars on top moving, then you know that Tamale too has arrived. And you can have a look at it before the commencement of the interchange and during the construction stage, which most people doubted. As an indigenous of Tamale, when this thing started, people thought that people were prospecting for gold. And all stories were being told about it until when that work was progressing steadily, then people started believing, after all, something is coming up in the northern region. And Tamale can now boast of a very modern interchange, a two-way tier interchange that you can find now. And that is it. I'm also happy to note that this is one of the longest stretches of interchange in the country. I do not know which interchange that is longer than this, because this is about 900-meter long interchange. That makes it one of the longest interchanges that we find in the country. There are currently a total of 353.79 kilometers of road projects being undertaken by the Ghana Highway Authority, with about 60% of these projects at major stages of completion. These projects are being undertaken in 5 areas: regraveling, rehabilitation, upgrading and resealing, and sectional rehabilitation. The Ghana Highways is doing its best with the support of the Ministry of Roads and Highways to provide the northern region with good roads that will help us in our commercial and agricultural activities and social activities in the region. Some of these projects include the regraveling of the Patinga-Gar Road, the regraveling of Patinga-Gar Road Phase 2, the regraveling of the rehabilitation of the Bawa Barracks roads, upgrading of Saboba-Wapuli, upgrading of Tamale-Daboe Road, upgrading of Simbila Road, upgrading of Tamale-Kumbungu Road, upgrading and sealing of Riverbank Nakpale-Zabzugu Road, and a host of others that are all at different stages of completion. And you can find on the screen most of these works that have been done simultaneously together. Road projects, these are under the Urban Roads Department, rehabilitation and partial reconstruction and other civil works of 245.58 kilometers of road networks are currently being undertaken in Tamale and other capitals of the MMDAs in the region by the Department of Urban Roads. These works include asphalt overlays, rehabilitation works and storm drain construction. A total of 45 kilometers of roads have been asphalt overlaid in Tamale, while 9 kilometers of Yendi Town roads were also done as part of this project. Some of the areas in Tamale include Sakasaka, Nyohani, Damasco, while that of Yendi includes the Palace, Fire Service area and the residential area. Pictures of the overlay can be found seen on the screen during and after. These were all sites that the asphaltic overlay was happening. It is also significant to note that apart from the Trans-ECOWAS highway that passes through Tamale from Kintampo to Paga, there has never been 1 inch of asphalt overlay in Tamale until now. So the people of the northern region in Tamale are very grateful to the president for having that insight and thinking that we also deserve to have some serenity on our roads. That is not all. We also had a total of 24.6 kilometers of asphaltic overlay in our security agencies and areas. That included the Bawa Barracks, the Air Force Base, the airport, Kamina Barracks, Northern Command Headquarters, the Police Headquarters, the Fire Service Headquarters, the NIB Headquarters, and even parts of the regional administration, bringing the total of asphaltic overlay within the Tamale metropolis to almost 80 kilometers of roads. That has been done just within Tamale. The projects were designed to provide asphaltic overlay on the roads and squares of all the security services and agencies in the region. And we can all see these are areas that were asphalted in the security areas. The Bawa Barracks, the Police Headquarters, the NIB area, and the Northern Command area. Apart from that, apart from the asphaltic overlay that we are talking about, there has also been tremendous work that has been done on the feeder roads. The Feeder Roads Department is currently engaged in improving a total of 839.20 kilometers of feeder road networks, and that includes